Hi guys, in this video I'm going to aim to solve everything regarding CELPIP reading, parts 1 to 4, all the main strategies you need to know, and an overview so you simply understand what you need to do in a simplified version, unedited and with every little detail. So, CELPIP reading has 4 parts, 1 to 4, the 4th and the 3rd, so the ending parts are the hardest. Part 2 is a picture, but it's not really a picture. It's a bunch of images with some text, which is in a brochure format, and they call it a picture. So it's essentially you reading some text with some visuals. Okay, when we talk about parts 1 and 4, the format is very similar. The difficulty is higher in part 4, but the format is the same. You have the first 5 or 6 questions, which are multiple choice questions, and they're a sentence, and at the end of the sentence, you have the question. So you have to look at the keywords in the question, understand the concept, which by that I mean paraphrase the words in your head, because you're not likely to find the same keywords in the passage. So really understand the concept, look at the keywords, then go into the passage, find the places where that thing, that keyword or the concept is mentioned, understand the answer, before opening the multiple choice drop box. Because once you open the multiple choice drop box, you're going to be confused with a lot of options. So first understand the answer yourself. Once you know it, then open the multiple choice drop box, and now you would know which one to pick. Make sure to eliminate the rest as well, because sometimes there are two close answers. So make sure you really look at all 4 and pick the right one. Now this is section 1. Here you want to spend 80% of your time. This is for parts 1 and 4. They both have the section 1. You want to spend most of your time here because here you are reading the passage while answering and understanding it. Once you go to section 2, which is a response or a comment to the existing text, and this is section 2 of parts 1 and 4 reading. At this point, you again have multiple choice options, which you're filling in within the paragraph. Now, if you want to check how all of this works, we have 25 mock tests available. You can check it out in our CELPIP self-paced course. I'll put the link for that in our description so you can see how this whole thing works. But in this part, you don't have to look at the passage to answer the questions because you don't have much time. You should spend only 20% of your time here. But you don't need much time because at this point you already have a very good understanding of the passage. So here you use that understanding, and based on the tone of this response or comment section, you answer the questions based on the tone and based on what you remember from the passage. So that is the strategy for parts 1 and 4. Remember, again, the things you see in sections 1 and 2 of parts 1 and 4 reading, these words are going to be paraphrased in the passage. So make sure you're looking at the, the concept from the questions instead of just relying on keywords. Now, let's talk about part 2. Part 2 has a similar breakdown, sections 1 and 2. In section 1 here, you see a conversation in an email happening between two people. So it'll be, hey, Jeremy, and some text written to Jeremy, and at the end, Sarah will be closing it. Within this text, they're going to be discussing the elements of the picture. So if the picture is a brochure of a winter vacation, in the passage, she would say to Jeremy, for example, have you seen the high price, low price, average price? These are your options of the whatever ticket. And now you have to see the ticket information in the brochure and options for the prices to answer the multiple choice question. So the answers are embedded here. What you simply want to do is once you start, spend at least 2 minutes looking at the picture or the brochure. It's easy to do because it's less text. So here you actually look at the picture first. Understand the picture, understand the text, get an idea of the different options given. Usually there's tables given to you, so you compare the options. Once you have an idea, then you go into the section 1 of part 2 and answer the questions from the drop-down. This makes it easier because you already now have an understanding of the brochure. Once again, compare all the options, eliminate the wrong options. In section 2 of part 2 reading, you would have the relationship-based questions. For example, what is the relationship between Jeremy and Sarah? Or how does Jeremy view Sarah, or vice versa? And this is now not based on the picture. Sometimes it is, but most of these questions are usually based on the previous section, asking you about the tone, the relationship between these two people who are talking. So now you need to go back to section 1, understand how they were interacting, and based on that, based on the tone, answer the questions. Once we go into part 3, this is your second last part of reading, you have matching questions. So you have a bunch of paragraphs, A, B, C, D, and you have a bunch of questions, usually 9 questions. Which paragraph contains what information? You have to match it with the questions. The simplest strategy here is you look at all the questions first, look at the words, understand the concept. Once you've really understood what keywords you have to look for, go to the paragraphs, read paragraph A, then come back and match them, and then B, then match it. One paragraph can have more than one option, so it can have more than one answers. Don't be afraid if you get 2 to 3 answers for just paragraph A. That happens. A few things to note here. One is at the start, you'll be spending more time. Time will run fast. At the end, it'll be slower. Why? Because at the start, you're spending time reading the questions, so that takes up a bunch of time. And also, you have all these options, like with paragraph A, you have to match it with 9 options, so you have to read everything. But once you go to paragraph B, you would have less than 9 options, because for paragraph A, you probably selected, let's say, 8 or 9, and now you have 1 to 7 questions left. Similarly, when you go to paragraph C and D, you will have lesser and lesser options to look at, so time will go faster as you go. So do not panic if at the start your time is running fast. It's normal. Now, when you mark something, for example, for paragraph A, you picked questions 5 and 9. You think they match, but you have a doubt. You say that 9 for sure has the same words in paragraph A, but 5 does not. So I'm not sure if I should pick 5. That's okay. Circle it or just remember it that, okay, this may be something that is better suited to other paragraphs. You do your B, C, and D, and if you find C matched 5 better, take that 5 away from A and put it for C. So that's okay. Sometimes you're in doubt, and later on in the paragraphs you realize you have a better answer choice. And if you didn't find a better answer choice, leave 5 as A. That's very common. It happens a lot. At the end, whatever you couldn't match is simply going to be E, not given. So this option not given, you don't have to go out there and look for what is not given. Just whatever is not matching at the end is not given. Okay? So guys, that is the overview, the main strategies, the simplest, most popular, and most effective strategies. Start with that. Practice really hard and apply them over and over again, and you will see the magic of these strategies because they really work. I hope this video helped out. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions, and we'll see you for the next video.